The most powerful way to indoctrinate and initiate the population is through entertainment and music. Occultism and gender neutrality have been pushed on us in plain sight, and the church is mute.
Gaga played a much more important role in this ritual. She played the part of the high priestess. In ancient and esoteric traditions, blue is a color often associated with the divine feminine and the Great Mother.
Can you imagine watching the Super Bowl this past Sunday? Sunday, a day that many Christians reserve as their day to worship God. Sunday, a family day when many people relax and in this case, decided to watch the Super Bowl. And can you imagine during halftime, Bad Bunny decided to desecrate the day and gyrated and brought in his gender neutral lifestyle for everybody, including children who are watching this, to be initiated in this new lifestyle and the occult rituals. My viewers and subscribers, my apologies in showing you some of these video clips because this is a family-friendly channel. But I have to do so to let you be aware of where we are and where we're going. Please, I ask of you to like and share the video, and also if you haven't subscribed, please do so, because hell is coming upon us. Most of our leaders are not informing you so you can be properly prepared.
Oh my God.
And before you remind me that Sunday is a pagan holiday that was used to worship the sun, I am fully aware of that. But on the other side, if China or India decided to make Sunday or Saturday their day of worshiping in their temples, the entire country would stall. So it doesn't really matter if it's Saturday or Sunday, as long as you keep a day holy to worship the Almighty. And for my Seventh-day Adventist viewers, my SDA, I know you would say Sunday, yes, is a pagan holiday. We agree. But also, if you decided to put a church in Alaska or Antarctica where it's daylight for 2 to 3 months of every year, how would you know which day is a Sabbath day if you don't have, say, clock? But let me digress. Sunday has always been a day that has been reserved for many Christians in the West to go and worship. But if you watch the movie Concussion by Will Smith, when the NFL commissioner said this,
"You're going to war with a corporation that owns a day of the week."
he said, the NFL has taken Sunday away from the church. So in fact, more people watch sporting activities on Sunday, sometime including me, instead of going to church to worship the Almighty. So in the midst of the game between the Seahawks and the Patriots, in the halftime, they brought in the Latin singer Bad Bunny. The same Bad Bunny a few days ago who won the Grammy. The same Bad Bunny who dressed in woman clothing. The same Bad Bunny who is other males. The same Bad Bunny who is singing occultist song. He came there and the crowd was euphoric, not understanding the symbolism and what he was doing. The same Bad Bunny who did all of those things at the Grammy now presented himself as an entertainment guru on a day reserved for Christians, while many who were watching never knew the symbolism and the occultist move that was taking place right in front of their eyes. Watch this.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say eyes out.
Tranqui, yo perreo sola.
What's up with this thing about men in dress? Do you recall how many athletes and entertainers who wear dress? I wonder why. I wonder which secret society they're a part of. Let me digress. I believe you will learn more while you watch. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the like button. We want to share this information to those who are unaware and who have fallen asleep.
The moment Ricky Martin appeared, the message became crystal clear. This was the passing of the torch from the old to the new, marking the official beginning of Bad Bunny's reign as the new industry gatekeeper.
Do you realize that almost every event nowadays, from Olympics, I'm talking about the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics, from the Oscars to MTV Awards to the Grammys, do you realize that they're planting occultist symbols openly nowadays? And there's no pushback. Did you see the opening at the Winter Olympics in Milano, Italy, where they literally presented Baphomet, the pentagram, right in front of our eyes, and we call it entertainment?
They couldn't help themselves. Yeah, that's right. They lit a flaming pentagram to start the games. How about that? But check this out. You guys won't believe this. Actually, you will. So how about that? The people that have an island where they eat lots of pizza decided to light a pentagram to celebrate their games. Everybody's really surprised, huh? Not that the lighting of a cauldron with a torch isn't inherently a ritualistic act, because famously Prometheus symbolizes the torch, which was stolen knowledge from the gods to be given to humanity. So, kind of like the serpent in the garden, knowledge, all that stuff. Yeah, Prometheus is basically, the devil, you guessed it. So maybe it is fitting that they lit a flaming pentagram to start the Olympics.
And don't forget the Olympics that held in Paris.
Non, ou cacher un revolver quand on est tout nu.
And now look at the NFL.
This is the most cryptic and symbolic halftime performance yet.
What the hell?
It's all in the name. When Bad Bunny comes out, he's wearing all white like a messiah. Follow the White Rabbit, Alice in Wonderland symbolism, and the Matrix.
White rabbit.
We have these people dancing around Bad Bunny here, forming a star, which the star is a six-pointed star of David. At the top of the shack, there's also a square in the center, which represents the black cube, or the black cube of Saturn, which the cube is also within the Star of David, also known as Metatron's cube. The center of any star is also a hidden point, such as the hidden level of Kabbalah or the hidden tree of knowledge. So the bunny falls through the hidden point of the Star of David, which is the center, right through the black cube, falls down the earth, the fallen angels, down the rabbit hole.
And most of us are having a field day with these events, not knowing that they are celebrating Lucifer, the pentagram, Baphomet. Some of you may ask, how did we get here? What happened? Let me pull back at some of you memory. 2003, if you remember, it was Britney Spears and Madonna and Christina Aguilera at the MTV Music Award. MTV, remember that abbreviation, MTV? You will see it come up every now and then in my videos. And at the MTV Music Award, these ladies were just making out with each other. Oh wait, let me show you the receipt because I've been keeping evidence for many years. Take a look at my library here. Here you have my library. I keep scraps and I've been doing it for many years. So if you look at Madonna right here, she said, I am Ishtar. I am Esther, which is Ishtar, which is Samarama. And as you can see, the ABC News anchor here, and they've normalized this. When these ladies did that in 2003, it was a shock to the masses and also to the church. But there was silence. The system tested the masses and see if they would get a revolt. Nothing happened. And from that day, to make out with the same sex publicly has been normalized. And that's what we saw on Super Bowl on Sunday, from the male perspective in full view on a day that was reserved for Christians and also a family day. Can you imagine that? Occultism and gender neutrality have been pushed on us in plain sight, and the church is mute.
Gaga played a much more important role in this ritual. She played the part of the high priestess. In ancient and esoteric traditions, blue is a color often associated with the divine feminine and the Great Mother, which is connected to Isis. In esoteric rituals, the high priestess provides the spiritual authority for the initiate. By wearing blue, she represents the mother figure of the industry, the one who had already been initiated, symbolically baptizing the new initiate in the industry's higher ranks. Essentially, she was leading this ritual, passing the symbolic torch from Ricky Martin to Bad Bunny.
Having said that, welcome to modern Rome. Most of you are not aware that what you're seeing happening today as it relates to sexuality were the same things that was happening during the Roman Empire. Listen to what Dr. Miles Monroe said about Rome.
When the Roman Empire was defeated, it was not defeated by an army. It was defeated by what destroys most countries. The Roman Empire was destroyed by immorality. As a matter of fact, history teaches that the Roman Empire was destroyed by the loins of their leaders. Your loins are right here. Their sexual life destroyed them. They died from the inside. They decayed from immorality. 14 Caesars, 12 were homosexuals. They slept with boys, not women. They fell in love with their lust to the point where they became so immoral that they began to have men marrying men. It's as old as 2,000 years ago. They were destroyed by their lusts of the flesh. When a country begins to embrace immorality, their demise is on the way. When a country begins to sanction immoral acts that God condemned, don't worry about their country, they are dying. No matter how powerful your guns and military weapons are, if your morality becomes a cancer, your weapons become useless. And Rome died in the bedroom.
Oh my God.
Did you hear what he said? Rome fell because of the sexual immorality. If you read Revelation 13, the first beast that rose up out of the sea, that was ancient Rome. And it fell. And the other nations in Europe are smaller nations of Rome. So when you read Revelation 13, you saw the first beast. And as you go further in Revelation, you see the second beast that rose up out of the earth. The second beast, it's this nation, the most powerful ever graced planet Earth. And the same things that Rome did is the same thing that it's doing now. So you can see the decline of the empire, because empire doesn't really die militarily. They start to die because of immorality. And I'm going to leave in the description the 4 horsemen that you need to watch this documentary called The 4 Horsemen. That will give you the rise and fall of empires. That's when empires move to decadence, they start to die.
We want to know what you're reading now.
What I'm reading?
Yeah.
It's a book by a historian named Barry Strauss. It's called The Jews Against Rome. Jews Against Rome.
What made you pick it up?
Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one. Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one. But the new Rome, the United States,
Modern Rome is doing the same things that ancient Rome did. The most powerful way to indoctrinate and initiate the population is through entertainment and music. When last have you heard songs that criticize the powers that there be? When last have you heard songs that challenge orthodoxy and give you food for thought so you can reason? If you should observe the entertainers of recent, they're knee-deep in the occult. Everything demonic, everything sexual. There's no moment for you to think or reason. Everything is designed from the lower extremity. And our youths are getting initiated, indoctrinated that this is normal. Welcome to the age of Aquarius, the demonic age, where the Christ age now is being undermined, the Piscean age, the God age. And we're moving on to the satanic age, the Luciferian age, the pentagram age of Aquarius. And most of us don't even have a clue of what's taking place in front of us.
The third and final part of the ritual was the completion of the great work and the moment of ascension. Towards the end of the performance, we see Bad Bunny ascending on the power poles. To most, this moment was simply just a tribute to Puerto Rico's infrastructure, but in the language of the occult, it was telling a completely different story. This was meant to demonstrate the literal completion of the great work. He was positioning himself at the very top of the energy grid. In the occult, electricity is often linked to the light bringer, the spark of life and consciousness, often described as a divine spark. The purpose of the great work is to power that divine spark so it could ascend and reach enlightenment. By standing on the energy poles, he positioned himself between the heavens and the earth, with the sparks representing the activation of his own divine spark. Symbolically, he was siphoning the focus of 100 million people and grounding it into the stage to feed off their energy. He wasn't just performing, he was being initiated into the highest orders of the secret religion that runs Hollywood.
This is why people like me are here, to sift away the fog so you can get clarity to connect to the one and only God, the Almighty. Let me leave you with this. The age of Aquarius is upon us. Rome is pushing all the decadence and normalizing them. While in the meantime, the occult world has taken over. Therefore, the Bible says, who have ears, let him hear. It also says, they have eyes and they cannot see, ears they cannot hear, and mouth, what do they speak? Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first that the first rule of God, the kingdom of God, and number 2, his righteousness, and number 3, and all these things shall be added unto you.
This is the most evil generation since the inception of man. Worse than the flood, worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think part of it has to do with the fact that we can instantly communicate with everybody around the world, and we are propagating sin in a way we never used to. If you wanted to have a sexual sin, you had to go do it with somebody. But now we can just open a phone and do things on the phone. And Los Angeles is #1 exporter of pornography to the whole world. We should be not only ashamed of that statistic as Americans, but fearful for the kind of things that they're opening up to the country with that kind of filth, with the demonic world. And then you look at the rest of Hollywood. I just saw Nicole Kidman has a new movie coming out who alleges to be Catholic. They almost gave it an X rating in our day and age. Imagine that. So they had to cut stuff to get it down to R. But she has a preoccupation. It's having an affair, but also preoccupation with sex with animals. So we're going to a whole new level. And this is a mainstream film.
Put God first into your life and don't allow the Luciferian degenerate society to inoculate you, initiate you, and turn you over to Lucifer himself. On that note, Jamcan is out, and it's occultism in entertainment is what I and I talking about. People, please share the video, and peace.
When the Roman Empire fell apart, it broke up into small little kingdoms. It used to be one kingdom, but now it became many kingdoms. Let me name some of the kingdoms that the Roman Empire became. There was a kingdom called Franco. We call it France today. That was a Roman kingdom. The second kingdom was Spanian. We call it Spain today. It's a Roman kingdom. Another kingdom was called Portugal. We call it Portugal today. It was a Roman kingdom. Another kingdom that came from the Roman Empire was Anglo-Britannia. Anglo-Britannia. Great Britain is a Roman kingdom. We call them England today. Anglo. Light skin. Interesting, all of these kingdoms have the Roman philosophy. And they decided to expand their kingdoms. And so the French and the Spanish and the Portuguese and the British send their ships out. They are Roman in their minds, Greek in their thinking, and they come to take over territories. So they began to invade islands and continents. They came to the Caribbean, they came to Africa, they came to Central America, they went out to South America, and then they came to the Pacific. And they brought with them their philosophy. What's their philosophy? Greek. What does the Greek teach? They are superior, you are inferior. Your nose is big. Your skin is dark. Your hair is not blonde. And your eyes ain't blue. And your lips are thick. The gods gave you to me to be my slave.